Biafra na meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra Tell me what we do, everybody want to kill us. They want to take what belongs to us. Try. We they love our neighbors, so we they love ourselves too. So it is written in the holy book. Try. You find a channel na meheranyi biko kodo onyolu welu mono aya na meheranyi do onyolu welu mono onyo chai chukwu kikele anyị na bogi bia nyela time is now. We want to go. Remember your promises. Oh, na me oh, onuzo ke Biafra. Meherani onuzo ke Biafra. Na meherani onuzo ke Biafra. Meherani onuzo ke Biafra. Ndiro maranyi buruburu anachi wepundu anyị n'ike shata oh they are holding our lead Mazinambika now is Prime Minister Mazi Simon we shall rise and defend our land the land of rising sun is our hope Yogi bikonu sitende muziki kamehe iwele
My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, wherever you are watching from, I welcome you to this amazing platform. Thank you for being part of this platform. May Chukwu Hukabe guide and protect you. This is Biafra Exodus Hardtalk TV, a platform where we bring information that is coming from the Biafra government, a platform that brings information directly from the United States of Biafra government, and we will not stop bringing information. In this platform, we are focused on the structure of the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Every one of us know very well that Mazi Simon Ekpa have made a structure. And we know that in the hierarchy of the office, the COS stands in for Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, as long as he remains alive and with us. We know that the Prime Minister is going to join us very soon. Before the Prime Minister joins us, every information will be coming from the COS of Biafra government. And whatever you see on the Biafran government Twitter handle that you're going to follow, all you have to do is to follow the COS on his platform, follow the Biafran government Twitter account, and listen. Whatever you hear from there is the right way to go. Do not be disturbed. Do not be discouraged. In today's program, I want to expose one of the fraudulent system of Nigeria. One of the grievances why the Biafran people are leaving the zoo. We are not just living because we are angry or because of any sentiment. It is because the system has been programmed to fail, and everybody from bottom to top are all involved in the corruption and the destruction of humanity. That is why Nigeria has ended and Biafra declared. We must continue to protect Biafra, the United States of Biafra. Watch this video from beginning to end and you will understand the deep failure of the Zoological Republic. Watch.
Get here, put these things right, the next station, the next September, I moved again to another division. I was presiding back and forth. Then I ended up in Lagos. In all those other divisions, because, you know, when Nigerians are very, very good at assessing their bosses. You know, they have, if you're going to work this way, you want to do it. If you want to go straight, they will go straight with you as long as they know that you're straight. If you want to go like this, once they see that you want to go like that, they will even go, you may do it 1 yard, they will do 10 miles, depending on you. But once they want to do, when they know you have to do it, they would. So my reputation would precede me, I would say. So everybody will behave themselves once I'm there, because by the first people I deal with are those in my office. You mess up, I deal with you. That's when they realize, oh, if she can touch her personal stuff, okay, everybody. Then I got to Lagos. After a few months of trying to put the place together, they sent me a message that they should tell me that if I think that I can come and touch them here, I'm joking. They will show me that anyway, they sent me a message threatening me about 9 months after I got there. And I keep telling the story of how I looked at myself that year, first day of Ramadan of 2013. And I'm like, they're threatening me. And you know, it was like, what do I do? What, you know, when you're so used to people obeying and doing them, and then somebody decides to take you on. I mean, you could imagine how I was thrown in my chambers. What do I do? Fortunately, the presiding at the PCA, Honorable Justice Bokachua, was in town, and she left a message that I was the only one who could see her. So I went to see her and directed the whole, I was having with her. And the threat they had given me, I called the people, I took the registrar, DCR, who told her exactly what was happening. And the bottom line is that after I spoke to her and all that, I went back to my chambers. One thing they don't tell you about civil services, as long as it's not in writing, nobody's going to do anything about anything. And we don't report. Nobody wants to be the one to bail the cat, to actually put things in writing, to complain against this, that, or the other. I went back to my chambers. I asked for all the staff, my staff, and I mean, you like, who and who, in what department, how long have you been there? The registry, where they sent me this message, was now, I discovered that about 20-something of them had been in the registry for 36 years. Do you know what? Registry for 36 years. They're changing jeeps. They are changing everything. Because when we're talking of the judiciary, everybody looks at the judges. They look at the judicial officers. They forget the staff that runs the whole place. That the lawyers have to file papers, that the papers have to come to everything has to be done before we come to sit in court. So they blame the court, they blame the judges, they blame everybody without looking at the staff that have to run the place to put things together before those files are put there. So I had a system where, can you imagine a young lawyer who had met a young registry staff in the registry where you file your papers, 36 years later, they are SANs, they have big men, and these people are still seated there. So when they want a case to go on, they will know how to do it. If you don't want a case to go on, they will just hide the file, or the papers are not there. Now we are overworked. I go into court, you have a cost list of about how many cases to do. When they tell you, what about, my lord, I have an application, where is it? It's not in the file. Why is it not in the file? bailiffs has not served, or if they have served, oh, we can't find it. What do? We're overworked. It's a case of take an adjournment. An adjournment can take you another 2 years. And what has happened? One of your lawyer on the other side has bribed the staff there to remove the process so that you will get that matter done. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I now attached all of it and wrote SOS, that my registry had collapsed. This is what has happened. They've been working there. They don't have any digital sense. So 23 people have worked for 36 years in that place. 20 people for 34 years. From all of them, about 100 and something had been working there between 20 and 34 years in the registry. So I sent out this, I wrote this thing, attached everything, and wrote, the PCA acted on it, and before you knew it, 16 of them had been, from Lagos to Yola, to Ilorin, to Gombe, to wherever. They were now thrown out. So I later saw the head of admin and asked him, how did you know the 16 people that you removed? He said, we've always known them. We've always known the ringleaders, but they had godfathers. You couldn't have reported it. But since you had now put it in writing like that, they had something to act on. They had something to act on, and we know them, so they now threw them all out. Now, these 16, all their godfathers, and guess what happened? Somebody talked today about women. I was presiding Justice Lagos. Justice Bolkacho, a woman, was the president of the Court of Appeal. Justice Aloma Mukhtar was the CJN. Their godfathers were now rendered, what's the word? Oh. And it's like, who was going to come and they moved, you know what they call moved, and all of them, their godfathers, so-called godfathers, Justice Augie, me to go and meet her. So that is how, what they call Magana Yakari, that's the end of it. Before you know it, everybody had fallen in line. How did you know the 16? They knew them. And they said they also knew the ringleaders, and that, yes, those who were being misled found their way back. And a year later, come and see all these people. When my son and I see all of them in my house, bus load that came for naming ceremony, and I said, I remember telling a friend, a year ago, these people wanted to kill me. He said, what do you mean they wanted to kill you? You're the one who came here to destabilize all their business and everything. And then after some time, when they discovered that, well, if they can't kill you, they might as well join you to do things. So we are a wonderful people. Any of you who has ever had to work with staff that are that are hardworking, they know what to do and everything, it all comes from leadership. It all comes from let us do the right thing. It comes from standing up when they look at you and know we have to do the right thing and be able to report it, to be able to take the civil service rules and act upon it. But if I and my registrar decide to start making money, bail money, come and, like I told somebody, the day your registrar comes to you and say, Amina, how now? What does that mean? They are already telling you that me and you are in that business. But if I respect myself, how dare you come to now talk like that? Anyway, the bottom line, like all of us are going to say, for reforms to happen, we need to have a paradigm shift. We need to be able to train our people. And I still keep talking about the judicial justice sector. We need to have specialized schools, judicial colleges, just like you have TV college. We need to have people that from secondary school know, like you have lab technology, you have all those things that we are going to go to the judicial sector. We are going to be trained in whichever way it is to be able to do that. For now, too many godfathers putting people that don't fit into the place. We have round pegs in the square holes. And then I also want to tell you, and then I round up on that sector. I was on that panel, the first panel that removed Ngige and put Peter Obi that time. I was on that. That's the first time in the history of this country that the courts acted and removed the government. No, that's not the story. The thing is that before then, the politicians didn't really know the power that the court had until that case came up, and then after that, come and see floodgate. And then what do we have? Politicians are very strategic. They are very you start looking at a young person, let me not say girl now, but a young person, you have your people now. The next thing is, how do we put them as judges into all this? Not just at the High Court, but move them up, move them. We have to have our people that we can call to go. This is where the whole thing started. This is where that whole have judicial officers that don't have the passion for the job. They are not trained for the job. To be a judge takes a particular mindset. It's not anybody that can do that job. And don't forget that as a judge, I can't talk like this if I was still in service. Because where will you even see me? Where will you even see me to say that, oh, I would... the Honorable Minister Magudu is here. I mean, he was my governor of Kebbi. I had not yet been sworn in. I went for Dr. Z, his wife's medical outreach, which I had been attending for years. So I hadn't been sworn in. I showed up at the event here in Abuja. Before you knew it, petitions that I'm going to be sworn in as Justice of Supreme Court. I'm already with what was PDP then or something. Next, that was, baptism of fire that told me that after that, you can't even see me anywhere. Then you have SANs. To be an SAN in this country, you need to have a certain number of cases at the High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. So cases that shouldn't even be in the system are now piled up. The courts are overworked because these people want to be SANs and need to have this case. So even if their client can't pay, the SAN is ready to pay all the way up there. I'll get as long as I have the required number of cases. So we do have a problem. We need justice sector reforms as badly as any other sector, and I rest my case there.
Thank you, Honorable Justice.